you as the Diamond TV many months ago covered a story of a student who went to vote with a gown. You remember that story? They were signaling to all of us and to the nation that the reason why we are voting, we want jobs. I'm telling you that 70% of the youths that voted because they needed empowerment. They needed jobs. That is why the government of the day owes the Zambian youths jobs. It must always be like that, because for you to develop a country, production is one of the hallmark of development. If the country is not productive through youths having jobs, then you cannot develop. So we are moving in the agenda of supporting youths, and it is our responsibility. We owe the Zambian people as UPND, because we signed that social contract and said we'll give you jobs. So far, there are millions of jobs that will be provided going forward, because there are industries that are going to be revamped. For example, as you come in, comrade, timber. Right now, next month, sometimes next month, youths will be given timber licenses to export timber. And they are saying Chinese are going to partner with the Zambian youth. If you have a license, comrade, to export timber, I'm telling you, your life will never be the same. And that is what President Agande Chidema is trying to do.
You speak about what happens within a party, even during times of transition. And even in the time of transition, you have certain members of the party who will be appointed, who get certain presidential appointments, who get certain jobs. And we've seen this happen within the party. But as members of the party structures, what has it been like for you interacting with some of these senior members, especially those who've gotten those presidential appointments? How has it been from the lower structures of the party interacting with those who have now recently been appointed?
The interaction has been good, but however, I want to be on record once again. I don't hide these things, that there are some permanent secretaries that have decided not to pick up phone calls. Some. And I want to appeal to some permanent secretaries and ministers who are not picking up phone calls when the people call. You are elected by appointed by the president, and the president was elected by the people. So if you decide not to pick up a phone from a party leader or from citizens of this country, then you are bringing developments backward. The major challenge that we have found with some of those that decide to go against the presidential directive is a matter of communication. We are appealing to district commissioners, members of parliament, ministers. Please, can you get in touch with the people, because your lack of communication with the people, not picking up phone calls, you are decampaigning the president. As we report to the UPND, which he provided HH as our president, we wouldn't want the president to be decampaigned because of you as a permanent secretary who is not picking up phone calls. There has been a very good communication so far. I think you have seen with the Minister of Youth, who has been moving around the country, launching programs of empowerment and so forth and so on. But I want to take this opportunity on this platform to say that youths of Zambia must not take the law in their own hands by summoning directors of government institutions and calling them to harass them. There is this trend, Comrade Chimwe, where youths, some from within our party and others from outside our party, who have been harassing government officials by calling them to say, no, you were in PF, so you'll be fired. You'll be fired because we know you were in PF. I want to encourage and to tell those youths, let us allow the law enforcement agencies to take its course. There are investigative wings like ACC, Drug Enforcement Commission, Financial Intelligence Center, the Zambia Police. Those are the ones that are in charge of executing such functions. So if you know that there is a director or there is a procurement officer who was a PF person, he was wearing PF regalia, he went against his profession, report such a one to investigative agencies. Last week we had an issue where some unscrupulous youths went to General Nursing Council and started calling the director of the General Nursing Council to say, how did you procure that vehicle? Under what capacity? Because this is what our friends in the PF used to do. We are saying that let us allow institutions to move professionally. You know how procuring of government vehicles is done. Ministry of Works and Supply is the one that is responsible for procuring government vehicles. If I have seen that a tender was awarded to a particular person in a certain institution and they didn't follow the tender procedure, it's not me to call the director of that institution and say, why did you give that tender to your girlfriend? You shouldn't be like that. It must be that we must follow the law and use the right channels. So I'm appealing to the youths of this country. Let us move according to the laws, not to move by impulse, political impulse. No.
Mr. Likwanya, thank you so much for joining us on the Weekend Marathon today.
Thank you so much.
We'll be joined by the Lusaka District Information and Publicity Secretary in Matomola Likwanya, and we'll be looking at what's happening from the week and the issues around that. And we still have more coming up on the Weekend Marathon. We're still expecting the Human Rights Commission chairperson joining us in a bit, plus winning. And winning does continue. Free food, free rides, courtesy of the Twin Share application when we get back.